Go ahead, take a look at the phone in your pocket. Whether it's an iPhone, a Samsung Galaxy, or pretty much any other modern smartphone, they all share one thing in common: a rectangular screen. It's such a common shape that most of us never even stop to question it. But you know, phones could have been circular, or square, or even some other crazy shape. And yet, despite all the possibilities, the good old rectangle became the undisputed winner. So why? Why are phone screens rectangular? Well, the answer is this fascinating story that involves how our hands work, how our eyes see, the brutal economics of manufacturing, and the very logic of how digital worlds are designed. And we're gonna break it all down today on Everyday Simple Science with Ray. If you're new here, do us a huge favor, subscribe to our channel, like and share this video, and help us reach more people who are just as curious as you are about the what, why, and how of the universe. All right, so here's our game plan. To really get this, we've got to look at all the powerful forces that shaped our phones. We're gonna start with a surprising trip back in time to look at some old tech. Then we'll see how factory economics basically locked the shape in. After that, we'll explore why the rectangle is just a perfect fit for our bodies, how all software is secretly built on grids, and finally, how the phone's internal guts make any other shape pretty much impossible. Okay, first things first. It's so important to understand that the smartphone screen wasn't just designed from scratch. Nope. Its shape is basically an inheritance passed down through more than 100 years of media technology that came way before it. You see, every new screen technology has kind of set the stage for whatever comes next. This whole story really kicks off way back in 1888 with Thomas Edison's 4:3 film. That became the standard for movies and early TV. Then, when television invaded everyone's living rooms, cinemas had to fight back, and they did it with these epic widescreen formats. Fast forward a few decades, HD comes along and settles on 16:9 as this perfect mathematical compromise between them all. So naturally, when smartphones became our main way to watch videos, they adopted 16:9 to avoid those annoying black bars. And today, we've stretched them even taller to ratios like 18:9 or 21:9 because it just feels so much better for scrolling endlessly through our feeds. So history gave the rectangle a huge head start. But what really, truly sealed the deal were the cold, hard, unforgiving economics of mass production. Because on a factory floor, efficiency is everything. You see, display panels are cut from these enormous sheets of glass called mother glass. And I mean enormous. Some are over 9 by 11 feet. The best way to think about it is like you're baking cookies. You have this giant sheet of cookie dough, and your goal is to cut out as many cookies as you possibly can with the absolute minimum amount of leftover dough. It's the same idea here, except the dough is an incredibly expensive, high-tech glass. And this is exactly where the rectangle reigns supreme. It is literally the only shape that allows for what's called perfect tiling, letting manufacturers just slice out panel after panel after panel with zero wasted space in between. Now, if you tried to cut circles, you'd end up wasting about 10% of that precious material, and it wouldn't matter how perfectly you tried to arrange them. Now, in an industry that produces billions of screens a year, even a tiny 1% of waste costs millions and millions of dollars. So that 10% waste from trying to make circular screens, that's not just inefficient, it's completely financially unthinkable. It's a non-starter. But the rectangle isn't just for making factory managers happy. It also just so happens to be perfectly suited for the human body, specifically for our eyes and our hands. I mean, just think about it. Our eyes are set side by side, which gives us a field of vision that's naturally wider than it is tall. A rectangular screen mirrors this perfectly. It's why watching a video feels so much more immersive and natural than it would on a square or circular display. It just matches the way we're built to see the world. And then there's the grip. The narrow width of a modern smartphone lets you wrap your hand securely all the way around it. Your thumb can then just sweep across the screen in this beautiful natural arc, reaching most of the interface without any trouble. Plus, the shape is perfect for our pockets, right? And its long and short sides instantly tell us which way is up, something a circle could never do. So the rectangle is a perfect fit for our hands, but it's also the only shape that really makes sense for the digital world that lives inside the phone. Because beneath all that glass, the very logic of software is built on a foundation of right angles and grids. Every digital image is just a grid of tiny square pixels located with simple X and Y coordinates. A rectangular screen matches this grid perfectly, but a circular screen, Oh boy. That would require a whole different system, polar coordinates, which would create these bizarre wedge-shaped pixels. Your phone's processor would have to perform crazy complex calculations just to make an image look uniform, and it would just drain your battery for no good reason. And just think about how we use our phones. We read text that flows in nice, straight lines. We scroll through lists that are arranged in columns. Our apps are grids of icons. Our entire digital world is built on this rectilinear framework. And a rectangle is really the only shape that makes sense as a container for all of it. And you know, this isn't just a theory. A study back in 2013 actually measured how a screen's aspect ratio affects reading efficiency, and they found that some screen shapes allowed people to read significantly faster than others. But what's even more telling is how the shape affects how we interact with it. The study found that those taller rectangular screens, the ones in portrait mode, required the fewest scrolls. By showing more content at once, the shape reduces interruptions, helping us stay focused and just absorb information more effectively. So the rectangle is ideal for our eyes, our hands, and our software. But the final nail in the coffin for any other shape comes from looking deep inside the phone itself. The external shape is basically dictated by the tight-knit architecture of all the components packed within. I mean, fitting thousands of parts into a device this thin is an incredible engineering feat. There is absolutely no room for wasted space. Every single component has to be placed with microscopic precision. And what shape are the most important components? Rectangular. Of course they are. The battery is made of flat rectangular layers to maximize power. The circuit board is a rectangle covered in rectangular microchips. Even the camera sensor is a tiny rectangle. It's a system of rectangles, packed as efficiently as possible inside other rectangles. So when you bring all of these powerful forces together, the history, the economics, the biology, the engineering, you realize the rectangle wasn't just a simple design choice. In many ways, it was the only possible outcome. It all started with history, which gave the rectangle a century-long head start, a shape that the laws of economics then demanded, making any other form a waste of billions of dollars. A shape our own biology prefers, fitting perfectly with our hands and our eyes. And finally, a shape that both the logic of software and the physics of engineering completely sealed into place. Ultimately, the rectangular screen is the result of what you might call geometric determinism. It isn't just a trend. It's the optimal solution to a puzzle with pieces from history, economics, biology, and physics. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other simple designs all around us are actually the result of all these invisible forces pushing them into their perfect, inevitable form? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed this explainer, make sure you subscribe to Everyday Simple Science with Ray, give this video a like, and share it with a friend. Oh, and don't forget to turn on those notifications so you don't miss what's next. Thanks for watching!